And here's Senator Lindsey Graham.
CBO kind of missed it when it came to the number of people to be enrolled in Obamacare, and they missed it in terms of the actual escalation in cost. Having said that, I don't think this is particularly good news. If they're half right, that's still a lot of people that would be uninsured. It does reduce the deficit. It does reduce premiums some. Overall, we should take the CBO report and see if we can make the bill better.
Well, let's bring in Deputy Republican Whip, Congressman Adam Kinzinger of Illinois. And Congressman, what do you make of Lindsey's assessment? Perhaps maybe there's some points that the CBO has made and maybe this bill can be improved. Do you think this bill is okay and the CBO is wrong?
Well, I think, obviously if this passes in its current form out of the House, I think the Senate's made it clear that they want to negotiate or look at areas to change. And, I'd be interested in hearing what the Senate has to say on that. They have a lot of kind of different constituencies and concerns. I do think, some of the criticism of CBO is accurate, but I don't want to put, on the CBO that they're somehow in this dark room trying to find a way to sink and sabotage this. But I do think when it comes to the decisions of, we know where the money's coming in, we know where it's going out, but in terms of the policy, everybody's going to stop Medicaid. I think some of that's in question. But there's a couple of big points to make here, and that is that this is a three-part plan, as we've mentioned. This is one of three. This is only the stuff that we can get through on budget reconciliation, so there's somewhat of a limit in terms of what we can put in this. Tom Price is the second part. We can't necessarily know as congressmen what that is because there's ethics rules with that. And then part three is the broader kind of follow-up thing that needs 60 votes. And again, the other big thing, and the previous senator said, oh, this is a talking point. No, it's a fact. The fact is there are deductibles right now that are so sky high, and there are premiums that are so sky high that in some cases folks really just have a piece of paper that says insurance, and the benefits never kick in until they spend 30 grand that year.
So we have not a lot of dispute at the table that Obamacare, or the present health care plan, needs to be improved. Not at all. But this Republican plan, as it stands right now, do millions of Americans end up losing insurance? Is that a fair analysis?
Well, look, that question is one where if you respond, everything's taken out of context. I think the reality of it is this: we are leaving.
Congressman, I can't get an answer to that question. No disrespect meaning at all. But I was just.
No, I understand.
I'm really hoping that you could answer the question and not say that there's a bigger question or a more important question or a bigger problem. Just actually, if you could answer the question.
Anytime you take away people being compelled to buy a product, you're probably not going to have everybody compelled to buy that product then. And that's, again, this isn't people on the left aren't evil, people on the right aren't evil. This is a difference in philosophical opinion when it comes to the economy and when it comes to health care. We don't believe that people should be compelled or forced to buy. That's a difference from the current health care plan. But what we're giving people is an option from the Medicaid thing. Look, we are saying expansion states can keep expanding, can keep people at the same level of expanded benefits until 2020, at which point the person on Medicaid can stay in perpetuity at that level until they cycle off. And then if they cycle back on, it's at the lesser rate, but that's when the state comes in with some of the state funds to figure out how they want to handle it. So look,
Jeremy,
it's a different way of doing it than Obamacare, but we think this, as one of three tranches, is the best way to begin, and I'm sure there'll still be with the Senate maybe some changes at the end of the day.
Congressman, good morning. Jeremy Peters from the New York Times here. What it sounds like you and a lot of other Republicans are essentially saying is Americans have a right not to have health care. Is that it?
Well, no. I mean, that's saying that basically you're trying to make the jump to saying health care is not a right. We're talking about insurance. This is the first time that anybody has been compelled to buy a product simply for existing, unlike car insurance where you're compelled to buy a product because you buy a car and drive on the highway and propose risk to other people.
I'm thinking about that.
Yeah, I guess I'm a little lost there. Wait. I mean, so health care insurance is not as fundamental as car insurance. That's what you're saying.
See, here's what you're trying to do. You're trying to make the jump so that well, no, I'm just saying trying to make the jump so that somehow it goes to say that health care is not a right. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is people do have a right, in my mind, to decide whether they want to buy health insurance, because right now it's compelled simply onto them simply because they exist. When it comes to car insurance, you can compel people to buy it because that's when you make a choice whether or not to drive on the road, and what basically is described as the minimums is the risk you propose to you show to other people when you're driving a car, so it's to protect other people as well.
I think other people are also protected in the healthcare system because their costs don't skyrocket from people who don't have insurance, who have to show up at the emergency room and drive up costs for everyone else.
Yeah. No, Congressman Adam Kinzinger, thank you for trying to clear this up, and thank you for trying to answer the question.
You bet. Thanks, guys.
A lot haven't.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.